The NFL offseason is here, and for teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos, it's time to address their weaknesses and make big moves to improve. From quarterback questions to offensive line issues, these teams have plenty of work to do if they want to compete at the highest level next season. In this video, we'll break down the key offseason priorities for the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos, and discuss what they need to fix to take the next step. Stick around as we dive into the details and explore how these teams can turn things around. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at a crossroads when it comes to their quarterback situation. Since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement, the team has struggled to find a true successor. Kenny Pickett has shown flashes of potential, but questions remain about whether he can be the long-term answer. The Steelers need to decide if they will stick with Pickett or explore other options, such as trading up in the draft or pursuing a veteran quarterback. Without a reliable trigger guy, as analysts have pointed out, the Steelers risk repeating the same mistakes and falling short in the playoffs. Beyond the quarterback position, the Steelers must add more playmakers to their offense. Outside of George Pickens, the team lacks dynamic weapons who can consistently create mismatches against opposing defenses. A stronger supporting cast would not only help the quarterback, but also make the offense more unpredictable. Additionally, the offensive line needs significant upgrades to provide better protection and open up the run game. Fixing these issues will be critical if the Steelers want to avoid another one-and-done playoff appearance. Mike Tomlin has been one of the most consistent coaches in the NFL, but his success has also been a double-edged sword. Despite never having a losing season, the Steelers have gone 8 straight years without a playoff win. Critics argue that Tomlin has squeezed every ounce of talent out of his roster, but the lack of a succession plan after Roethlisberger has left the team stuck in mediocrity. If the Steelers believe in Tomlin, they need to give him the tools to succeed, starting with a franchise quarterback. The Steelers also need to rediscover their identity as a physical, run-first team. While Najee Harris has been productive, averaging over 1,000 rushing yards per season, the run game has lacked consistency. Upgrading the offensive line and finding a complementary back could help the Steelers control games and take pressure off their quarterback. Tomlin's ability to coach above the talent level on his roster is impressive, but without significant changes, the Steelers risk continuing their cycle of early playoff exits. The Los Angeles Chargers have one of the most talented young quarterbacks in the league in Justin Herbert, but they need to surround him with better weapons. While Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are solid options, injuries and inconsistency have limited their impact. The Chargers need to find a true number 1 wide receiver who can stretch the field and create big plays. Adding a dynamic playmaker would not only elevate Herbert's game, but also make the Chargers' offense more explosive and difficult to defend. In addition to improving their receiving core, the Chargers must address their offensive line. Protecting Herbert is a top priority, especially given the physical toll he has endured over the past few seasons. Upgrading the offensive line would give Herbert more time to make plays and help establish a more effective run game. With the right additions, the Chargers can go from being a playoff team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The Denver Broncos showed flashes of potential last season, but they still have significant holes to fill. One of the biggest priorities is finding a reliable tight end for quarterback Bo Nix. A strong tight end can serve as a safety blanket for a young quarterback, especially in critical situations. The 2025 draft class is loaded with talented tight ends, making this the perfect opportunity for the Broncos to address this need. Adding a playmaker at the position would instantly improve the offense and help Nix develop into a more confident and consistent quarterback. On the defensive side, the Broncos need to lock down key contributors like Nick Bonitto, who led the NFL in sacks last season. Extending Bonitto's contract now would prevent his price tag from skyrocketing in the future. Additionally, the Broncos should focus on shoring up their defensive line to maintain their pass-rushing dominance. With the right moves on both sides of the ball, Denver can build on their progress and become a more complete team. A recurring theme for teams like the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos is the need to support their quarterbacks. Whether it's finding a franchise quarterback, adding playmakers, or improving the offensive line, these teams must prioritize building around their signal callers. The modern NFL is driven by quarterback play, and teams that fail to address this position often find themselves stuck in mediocrity. For the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos, the offseason is a chance to make bold moves and set the foundation for future success. Another common thread is the importance of balancing short-term fixes with long-term planning. While making the playoffs is a goal, these teams need to think beyond just getting there. Building a sustainable roster with depth and versatility is key to competing for championships. By addressing their weaknesses and making smart investments, the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos can position themselves as serious contenders in the AFC. The offseason is a time for reflection and action, and for teams like the Steelers, Chargers, and Broncos, it's all about making the right moves. From finding a franchise quarterback to adding playmakers and shoring up the offensive line, these teams have plenty of work to do. What do you think? Which team has the best chance of turning things around next season? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more NFL updates and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.